Good morning. Today we're going to try to talk about checkboxes and what they really do and what people expect them to do and they're not designed to do. Okay, so let's have a look at this real fast. Well, the first thing I want to show you is, I'll pick any image, doesn't make any difference. I'm going to show you is this box here, copies to add. That doesn't mean make 3 copies of this cow. It means if I want to add 3 copies of an image, I can do it with 1 click or 25 copies of an image. If I do that, I've got 3 birds, 2, and the cow. Okay, I got 4 pages just by doing that. So it does not refer to copies of prints. Okay, let me just clear this out again. And we're going to have a look here because this is where you make your copies. You open the driver and in here it says copies. If you put a 3 in here, it'll make 3 copies of Aunt Susie. Okay? And every printer brand has the same thing in there someplace. You have to find it sometimes, but it's there. So if you have an Epson or an HP or whatever you have, you'll find copies. Okay? All right, done with that. Let's move along. I'm trying to go fast because the first couple of tries on this video ended up way too long. Okay, so we'll put Aunt Susie back in here and we'll go to settings and we're going to go to print file info, and this is pretty simple. You just click on whatever you want and go back and look at your image and you can see there's the print file info underneath. Okay, so let's go back here and take that off and let's go to mark edges. Now mark edges is a little bit different in the sense that some are quite obvious, crop marks, okay, and you can see the crop marks, okay. And if I go back in here and I choose, let's say guidelines, okay, you can see there's your guidelines. I'm trying to move a little faster. Now, the problem is that people say, well, yeah, that works, but this thing doesn't work. Let's say dashed black and white line or something like that. Well, you hit this and you can't see it. That doesn't mean it didn't work. It just means it's hard to see on this thumbnail projected JPEG up here. So what I've done to save a little time, I've made print the file and I've stuck it in the here we go. There we go. I've stuck it in here so that we can see it easily, okay? And I've used this bush to demonstrate. So if I blow the bush up, that's the whole point of this, you can see on the corners that there's a corner marker, okay? Want to see a little better? There she is, okay? So that worked. And we go here to this guy and we say, what do you have? Well, this guy's got a solid black line around the whole image, okay? And the last one, the one that's almost impossible to see, is this guy. Black and white dashed lines. You can see it. So everything is working. It's just a matter of being able to see it when you want to see it. Okay, back we go. And we're going to go back to settings again. And we've got the print filter figured out. And we've got the edges figured out. Okay, let's go to global. Okay, global filter. Now this is the tricky one. I'm going to pick black and white for my global filter because it's easier to see. Okay, and the tricky part of the global filter is this. If I have this image in the queue, and you can see it's bright, so you know that's the cow I got in here. Okay, it has no filter applied because the file name is white. So we know there's no filter applied. So if I go in here and I right click and I say convert the image, make a JPEG for me, okay? With the global filter applied, it should work. Okay, there it is. There's your black and white right there. Okay, so the filter did apply. Okay, so that's, I'm just going to delete this so we don't get confused. Okay, there we go. Now, that is applied because there's no other filter in its way. Okay, so I'm going to take him out like that, and I'm going to pick a different image that has a filter. Here's one that has a filter. Why? Because it's got a red file name. So if I put him in there, okay, let's make sure our global filter is on. It is. Okay, and I'm going to make a JPEG out of this guy. Okay, now because there's already a filter applied to this particular cow, you can see that the JPEG that was made over here on the left-hand side, the JPEG is still black, is still the color, just like the original one was. So the global filter did not work. Okay, it's not supposed to work. If there's a filter already on, it's not going to override it, because that just mess up the whole picture for you. So let me get rid of this guy so we don't have confusion. And now let's go to the next filter, the print filter. Okay, this one does override. Okay, it does. So if I take the same black and white filter and apply it here, and I go ahead and say, well, it's a print filter, I better use a print. So I'm going to right click here, and that goes to print the file. And I go here, okay, turn the print filter back on for print to file, like that. And now I go ahead and make a print. Okay, you with me? Okay, just a couple more clicks so it knows where to go. Okay, there we go. And yes, we want to look at it. And there we are. There's Aunt Susie in black and white. So you see the way it works. If it's a print filter, it'll override. If it's a global filter, it'll only work on an image that has no previous filter. Okay, so far we're doing fine, right? Okie dokie. All right, I'm going to take this red flower right here, which already has a filter applied, obviously, and I'm going to open up the editor. Okay, there we are. Now what I want to show you here is a checkbox. It's called lock and unlock. Well, I unlocked it, okay, because I only want to apply any change in saturation to the red. Okay, you can see the rest haven't been touched, only the red. Okay, now the red is minus 15. I know most of you use this to increase saturation, but this is not increasing saturation. So there we are. Let me blow this up a little bit for you. Okay. All right. You can see that the detail is not there. Red is a tough color. So that's when you unlock the red and put in whatever suits you on your particular image. In my case, a minus 15 does the job. And you see the detail come back in here. Okay? Here's a before and an after. See the difference? Okay, so there you can use this lock or unlock checkbox. Okay? The shadow noise and medium noise and ultra noise filters, we've done that before, and they're visual. So you just have to apply them and look and see if you got enough noise removal, or you need more, or you need less, or whatever you want. So I'm not going to demonstrate those checkboxes over here. Okay? Auto exposure, well, that's something that I never use, but maybe if you had 150 images and they all were pretty much alike and you wanted to change the auto exposure and apply it to everything, that's fine, but there's easier ways to do that. Okay, let's move along and we'll show you some more. Okay, I'm going to change images here for a reason, because the next thing I want to show you is the crop. Okay, I'm going to take this guy here because I can tell there's no previous thing on there. Okay, the crop. The crop lock, that's the interesting part. Okay, just let me get out of here for a second. Okay, I just wanted to turn my auto crop on so you could see this better. Okay, now the crop. In here is my print size that I have set in the main screen. Okay, now if I just make a crop like this, I can do anything I like. Okay, long, short, wide, fat, skinny. That's very good for Aunt Susie the cow too. Okay, you can see that. But I have an 8 by 10 print scheduled, or that's the size currently in play. If I take this out and I put this on like that, now any crop I make is in the configuration of 8 by 10. It locks it. That's what the crop lock means. You can see 5 by 4 in the right hand side of that little pop out. Okay, 5 by 4 is 8 by 10. So if I want to make it larger or smaller, it'll stay in the configuration of 8 by 10. If I take the crop block off like that, now I can make anything I like. Watch. See, long and tall and short and fat, whatever I like that. Okay, so you got the hang of that guy, and that was kind of an important one. And let's see, fringing is fringing. If you have an image from your camera that has 3 colors and they're not one on top of the other, this should try to correct it. Vanish, we have done videos on that, so we're not going to touch that. This one here, nobody knows what it is anyway, so we're going to move along. Okay. Okay, I think there's a couple more here. Yeah. Let's do mirror. Okay. Well, mirror is self-explanatory. It flips the image horizontally. You can see the light up on the top's on the right side. If I take off the mirror, it goes to the left side. So that's pretty obvious. And what else do we have here? White balance, that's not really a checkbox. And I think you pretty much know how to work that guy. So let's see if there's anything else and then we'll close it off. Okay, I think there's just one more. And I put 3 images in the queue. And we're looking at this guy, the one we looked at a little while ago. And the other ones are next. Okay, and that's pretty good. And next. Oh my goodness, look at that. The ground is slanty and the cow's face is obscured in shadow and I don't like it, and there's buildings in the back and it's an awful picture. Okay, well here's another checkbox. Take out the check mark, okay, say done, and guess what? Instead of 3 pictures in the queue, we only have 2. He got removed. So that's your final checkbox that I can think of at the moment. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had some fun, and we'll see you next time.